lush green orchard, where ripe, juicy fruits should be swaying peacefully in the wind, is now facing a serious threat. These intruders not only destroy trees, but also ruin the hard work of farmers. Today, our hunting team is here with a single mission: eliminate these invaders. Will the wild boars manage to escape this time? Stay tuned until the end of the video to witness intense chases and precise shots. Wild boars are silent but highly destructive threats to agriculture. With their growing numbers, rice fields, cornfields, and thriving fruit orchards can turn into wastelands overnight due to their rampages. The damage reaches millions of dollars each year, leaving many farmers in distress. Our team, experienced and skilled hunters, is ready to step into battle. After a long journey through dense forests and vast fields, our hunting team arrives in Chashawa. Without wasting a second, we step out of the vehicle, strategize, and prepare for the hunt. With thick foliage obstructing visibility, tracking the boars seems nearly impossible, but we have the advantage. Our flying camera scans the entire area, pinpointing their exact location. Once we detect their movements, the team quickly forms a tight perimeter, leaving no escape routes. Gunshots pierce the air, each shot accurate to the millimeter. The boars panic, fleeing desperately, but there is no escaping the Reaper's scythe. Smoke and dust engulf the orchard as their frantic grunts fade into silence, leaving only their massive bodies struggling in vain. A thrilling, powerful hunt, and we are the undisputed masters of this battlefield. A few terrified boars bolt toward the vast cornfield, seeking refuge. But the hunt is far from over. We won't let a single one escape. As the sun dips behind the mountains, I persistently track their trail, determined to claim one more victory before nightfall. And then, luck smiles upon me. Hidden among the dense cornstalks, a wild boar moves swiftly toward the trail. Without hesitation, I fire, but the bullet narrowly misses, sending it sprinting like an arrow. I'm certain it will come this way. And just as I predicted, a massive shadow appears. This time, there's no escape. The hunt is over, and the intruder is down. The next morning, as the soft golden light of dawn blankets the orchard, we set out once more with our hunting dogs, determined to track down the remaining wild boars. The crisp air and clear visibility make for perfect hunting conditions. We don't have to wait long. Our targets emerge almost immediately, panic-stricken, sprinting at breakneck speeds. But we are prepared. With precise aim and steady hands, each shot rings out decisively, bringing them down in an instant. Gunpowder lingers in the air as the last echoes of gunfire fade, a triumphant conclusion to a spectacular hunt. I remain patient, hidden, waiting for the perfect moment. Finally, the wild boar appears. The first shot rings out, striking it hard. Staggering, wounded, it struggles forward, clinging desperately to life. The hunting dogs are already in position, ready to end the chase. Gluttonous and destructive, wild boars always target fruit-laden orchards and vast fields of crops. They see these lands as paradise, but today, this place will become their nightmare. We have tracked them relentlessly, following their every move, closing in on all possible escape routes. The herd scatters in desperation, each one falling, one by one. Some recklessly dive into thick bushes, hoping to find refuge, but all in vain. After an intense and thrilling hunt, we have successfully eliminated the orchard's greatest menace. But the battle isn't over. More herds lurk in the shadows, waiting for their chance to strike. Our mission continues, to protect the farms and the people from this ongoing threat. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join us on our next hunt.
Late at night, cold winds blew through the deserted fields outside the town, bringing with them a cold and wild feeling. Under the dim moonlight, Oliver and I picked up our bags, ready for a challenging wild boar hunt. We had hunted together at night many times, and they were all wonderful experiences. This trip required not only courage, but also vigilance and survival instinct. If you want to know what interesting things will happen, follow us now. Just as we were about to set off, a bold idea suddenly popped into my head. I wanted to use my own body to lure the wild boars closer. Sounded crazy. Oliver looked at me with a mixture of surprise and concern when I shared this idea. With the desire to conquer, I convinced my companion to carry out the plan. I sat quietly by the dense bushes, a loaded gun in my hand, my eyes tensely watching every movement. From a distance, the wild boars began to move, as if they had sense of a presence. Their dark skin was mottled with color, blending perfectly with the darkness. They moved towards in a herd, wariness unable to hide their curiosity. I could hear the growls coming from their throats, the characteristic sound of wild boars cautiously exploring their surroundings. A few minutes later, the wild boars appeared in front of me, very close, sharp fangs glinting in the moonlight, ready to tear apart anything that stood in their way. They stood there and looked at me, their small but bright eyes. My mind was struggling between two thoughts. Should I shoot immediately or let them come even closer? Then the wild boars faced the muzzle of my gun. Seizing the opportunity, I shot down the first one. The sound was as clean as the bullet cutting through the air. Immediately after, I adjusted my gun to fire a second shot, before the other wild boars could run away. Our risky game ended like that. The result was the first two wild boars lying at our feet. After a few tense moments, we decided to walk along the grasslands to find the wild boars. In the quiet night, the sound of wild boars echoed. A wild boar with a distinctive spotted coat appeared. As the boar moved out of the bushes, its eyes were alert, and its speed was also relatively fast. Oliver started his mischievous prank again, calling the boar several times in a row. A strange sound suddenly rang out, attracting its attention. It stood still to observe, but that was also an opportunity for Oliver to shoot. A precise shot to the head finished off the wild boar. It struggled for a while and then lay still, so we had another great trophy. Immediately after that, we moved to a position next to a pond. There would definitely be wild boars coming here to drink water. This was also an ideal ambush location. As expected, a wild boar that had probably just finished drinking water was leisurely returning to the field. As it passed in front of me, I immediately opened fire to take it down. The fatal shot knocked the boar down. I had no chance to fire back. Tonight we had a few trophies, all of them extremely large. However, Oliver said he wanted to stop by his family's cow farm nearby. That's why we appeared here, next to the cows. Not only that, mixed with the cows, we also discovered boars rummaging through leftovers. Boars, with their huge size, thick fur and sharp eyes, didn't care much about our presence, even when I held a gun and stood right next to them. Until a soul discovered us, it seemed to have realized the danger. It continuously let out a warning growl, but it was too late. It had already entered my sights. As soon as it moved to an open space, I immediately opened fire and shot it down. This farm, wild boars were rummaging. We didn't say anything. Many people might mistake this for a herd of pigs raised on the farm. If you witness the terrible destruction when they plowed up the whole ground, you will understand why we had to hunt these pigs. In the midst of the wild boar noise, I spied another big fat boar. It was running fast across the grass, and it seemed to have sensed the danger as well. As it ran back and forth in panic, I immediately took the opportunity to shoot. The headshot caused it to collapse and struggled with painful cries before it became completely still. It was another big boar. It seemed that all the boars in the area were this color. The game wasn't over yet, as Oliver and I had some unexpected mischief. We placed a loudspeaker that emitted a high-pitched screech right at the location where the boar had been shot. Soon the whole herd was attracted, and they quickly ran towards the screech. When the herd reached the top of the hill, they recognized the danger sign. Immediately, the herd turned around and ran away. Although the original plan didn't really work, I still managed to shoot and kill a boar when it stopped to observe. After midnight, we had to end the hunt because we had shot a lot of wild boars today. And of course, I will need some time to process these trophies. Thank you for following our journey. Please share your opinions in the comments. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support the channel.